Hello all, it's me Andy from Blitz Gaming. Hope we're having a great weekend. Today's video, we're doing a driver rundown on AMD's 7900 XTX. The three drivers what have been released, see how it's improved, see if the wattages come down, and see if there's any game performances happening. Okay, let's have a look at the setup, then go from there. Just as a note, there is a video saying that if you download the latest drivers from AMD, they break your 6800 and 6900 graphic card. It's not true. The video's now been updated to state the reason why. The reason the video cards were breaking, they came from a miner in Germany somewhere, and they were all faulty, and people purchased them and all sent them back to a place to be repaired, and they all come out okay, all have the same failure, but it's because they were from a miner, nothing to do with AMD drivers, just to let you know. So the test system is it's basically our Intel setup. The Gigabyte Z690 Gaming X DDR4 motherboard, Intel i5 13600K, CPU Raptor Lake LGA 1700 CPU, 16 gig Corsair DDR4 3200 MHz CL16, Western Digital 500 gig NVMe 570 drive, Western Digital 4 TB blue hard drive for the games, Corsair 850 watts PSU, Lian Lee all-in-one 240 CPU cooler. The AMD RX 7900 XTX graphic card, Windows 11's up to date, so it's 22H2. AMD drivers are 22.12.1, 22.12.2, 23.11. All games are in full screen, no VSync, FSR on or off, and with ray tracing on or off where available, in 1440p and 4K. Okay, you see how it goes. Okay, the drivers stay gaming wise, Uncharted and Spider-Man. Uncharted has a sluttering problem on video and a timeout issue on Spider-Man. I don't have those games, so I can't test them. Multi-displays, I don't have multi-displays, I've only got one display, so I can't really test that either. I have tested the idle power problem. Now I'm getting 14 watts off the board, and with a 4K video being played with media player, it's doing 55 watts, and that was doing that on all the drivers, so I haven't got that problem at all. So yeah, and the other thing is, like I said, multiple displays I can't test because I've only got one display. So corruption may be encountered using virtual super resolution with multi displays, been fixed. System crash may be observed when changing display modes with 4 displays, been fixed. While loading Spider-Man, the timeout now has been fixed. Improvements to power usage during hardware acceleration video playback has half been fixed. Further improvements in the future driver releases. Games have that bug where you got idle power is high. Again, I don't have that problem, and I've got 2 monitors capable of 4K and going up to 165 Hertz. So yeah, again, I don't have that bug. Still have the extended displays with driver timeout. So main issues with Gameplay Plus with extended displays. Again, we don't have extended displays. Uncharted 4 still has the bug, sluttering issues. Got Valhalla, you may get a timeout issue. Recommended going over to a Vulkan API. fix the problem. And if you've got any virtual reality games, you might notice some slowdown. I don't have any VR games either, so I can't test that. So fix an intermittent timeout bug when applying auto overclock. Not tried that one. So I take it it's been fixed because it says it's been fixed. Fan helmet has now been fixed from the last driver, and the Witcher 3 is finally fixed. Now I'll be able to turn on RT. Minor performance degradation. Observe applying factory reset of settings is now fixed. And then bug wise, we still got the same bugs as before. So Uncharted has still got sluttering, extended displays, and virtual reality games is still buggy. So hopefully that will be fixed in the upcoming drivers. Battlefield 2042. So we're going to just set it to 1440p, 4K, full screen, no VSync, ultra presets. Running it from there with ray tracing turned on, and see how it comes out. Let's go. Okay, split screen. We have 2221, 2222, 2311 on the screens. Basically, they'll run more or less the same. I'll never see any glitches anywhere playing the game. Just in case you want to know, we've got ray tracing on everywhere, as I said earlier. Yeah, it does around 150 frames, 160 frames, run around on its own. Now I'm playing against bots, 16-16. So if you play against players, 64 players, you're going to get a bit more lag. Plus you're playing against players. So yeah, it seems to run fine. Now I'll let you know, the whole system was running around between 500 and 560 watts total. Playing this game. Most of the time it was around 500, but it did spike at 560. We'll switch over to 4K. She loses about 50 frames a second. I hope you can see the frame rate on there. I've got to enlarge the writing on 4K. Again, I don't think there's anything between the drivers. I don't see no glitches anywhere, no video problems, no slacking, no freezing, no nothing. Played fine. You do about, I think I know, about 70 to 100 frames a second, up and down, depends on where you are, how many people got around you at the time. Otherwise, I had no problem playing the game at all.
Danger in the air! Hurting. Hostile forces are at half strength.
Cyberpunk 2077. In this one we are on custom because we use ray tracing on both runs, 4K and 1440p. And we've got FSR on because of the ray tracing. If we don't have it on, it runs really slow. So basically we're just going to do a ray tracing run at max and see how it goes. Switch over to 4K. Again, yeah, you can see the frame rate, even with FSR on, has dropped badly. But you could say even maybe playable in the 30s. I mean, if you want all ray tracing on, I would probably go back to 1440p, at least get 60 frames per second. On top of that, I'm not seeing any glitches in the game, any sound problems, any stuttering. It's going to play fine on this graphic card. So it's obviously ray tracing is a bit on the slow side. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah, we are using the built-in benchmark. Again, I am, because we're doing side-by-side comparison, need to match it up as close as possible. So again, 4K or 1440p, ultra high settings, and we'll have FSR on or off on quality mode, as always. The built-in benchmark is not particularly consistent. I don't think there's been much changes between the drivers, much difference. Now, I've noticed that this has always been like 5 frames faster than Afterburner anyway. So yeah, otherwise they've been pretty close, but that I can't really tell really at the end of the day. You turn on FSR, so it's set at 1440p, but this time got obviously FSR turned on, so we could get a bit of a boost. Let's see how it turns out. So FSR gains us about 30 frames a second. Not like you really need it turned on. But yeah, again, very equal across the board. Switch over to 4K. Not running FSR at the moment, but still ultra settings and everything maxed out. So yeah, I mean, again, she looks fine. Got no glitches anywhere in the game. She's nice and sharp. Can't complain with that. And we're getting a great frame rate. Well, according to the average, each driver has improved by a couple of frames a second. Again, I'll just take that as a grain of salt. At the end of the day, I don't think there's much in it at all. I can run another run and it might come out slower, it might come out faster. Okay, now we turn on FSR, get a bit of a boost. According to that, it's got a bit different at the moment in the frame rate. Let's see what happens at the end. So according to that, we got a good 6 frames difference. So yeah, can't complain really. If there's a boost, then there's a boost with FSR on. So yeah, you gained about 30 frames over non-FSR or 4K. Far Cry 6, again would be 1440p 4K with ray tracing turned on the 2 elements. We won't be using FSR. It does have it built in, but the frame rate's very good anyway, so you don't need it. Not unless you want a really high frame rate. Okay, and we'll be obviously ultra preset, full screen, no VSync as always. Nothing in it on Far Cry 6, basically identical across the 3 drivers. And it doesn't say there's any optimizations in the drivers at all, so yeah, we have to settle for it. Switch over to 4K. Again, I think it's extremely close at the end of the day. I mean, if you look at the frame rate, there's nothing in it between the 3 drivers. Again, there's no glitches anywhere in the game. Didn't see any bugs, freezing or anything like that. Played fine at 4K. Okay, so we're doing 100 frames at 4K with everything turned on with ray tracing. Again, I've not FSR turned off. Okay, if you want to put FSR on, you're probably gaining a good 25 frames extra on top of what we got. Otherwise, I don't think you need it. Runs fine in standard mode with this graphic card. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Again, 1440p, 4K, extreme preset. We are going to have FSR on, only FSR we're going to use because it's AMD card. And you do gain about a good 40 frames over non-FSR mode in this game. So yeah, let's see what this looks like at its maximum speed. Again, you can see it's equal across the board, 229 averaging, basically. Yeah, it's nothing between the drivers. It is a bit odd when you look at the numbers below. I mean, they're all over the place, but they all seem to come out the same. 229 or 227 on the middle driver. So basically, there's no optimization improvements over the last 3 drivers at 1440p. Again, we switch up to 4K, and you see again we're doing well over 100 frames a second with FSR on. I mean, personally, I'll just play this game without FSR on. I mean, it plays fine as it is, and it saves having any glitches with FSR if there is any. I'm not seeing any again on 4K or 1440p. The 155 frames a second on all of them, and I think with FSR turned off it's around 100 frames if I remember rightly. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to worry about the frame rate at all, really. Shadow of War. Now, we will use a built-in benchmark, and this is a classic reason why I don't like using built-in benchmarks. I have got Afterburner turned on, and you'll see the reason why. If you look at the two results from the built-in benchmark and Afterburner, they are completely different from each other. Again, ultra presets, 1440p 4K, no VSync on as always, in full screen mode, and you see how it comes out. As I said earlier, if you look at the frame rate Afterburner versus the built-in benchmark, I mean, it's like 30 frames difference, so no idea. Okay, I mean, I obviously use Afterburner a lot, so I would go by Afterburner. I'd go by Afterburner, and I'd probably say the average is around 2.5, 2.10, and the built-in one. You switch over to 4K, again full screen, ultra preset, and yeah, running fine. Doing average, according to Afterburner, around the 120 frames at this time. Average, look at about 140 just before the picture ends. So yeah, not too bad really, 130, 140 frames. Average at 4K with everything turned on. CSGO, everyone's favourite shootout on Steam. So again, 1440p or 4K, we're using everything on an auto high, whatever the standard settings are at the end of the day. As I said in the past, it's difficult to benchmark this game. I mean, when you're on your own, frame rate flies. When you bunch together, it goes down to about 50, 60 frames. So yeah, about average, I suppose we're doing in between somewhere like, I don't know, 330 to 400 frames. Basically at 1440p, no problem. So yeah, plays well, no glitches, no nothing on the game, as always. Switch over to 4K. Unfortunately, we've got 3 different maps this time. I have no control of the maps, just to let you know. And got a new one there. I've never come across the one on the right. Yeah, game, it plays well, no glitches, no nothing. In this game, I mean, there's been a lot of freezing in the past, but it seems to run fine. Runs extremely smooth. And yeah, if you look at it, you've got no problem banging out over 300 frames a second. Average is really high. Game, it's just one of those games. Plays well, no problem at all. Grand Theft Auto 5 or GTA. We were doing 1440p. We got everything turned on except that extended shadows because it won't stay on. It gets turned itself off. Otherwise, all the lines have been turned on. Everything's maxed out. What can be maxed out as we can, and be 4K and 1440p. 2212 2 driver. Certainly looks the best out of the lot. Yeah, it's leaving them, I don't know, what, between 5 and 10 frames more than the other two. So yeah, looks like they've gone slightly back a bit of the last driver. Switch over to 4K, and you see the frame rate is definitely dropped. Now, I definitely thought it'd be a lot higher than this. As soon as you turn that anti-aliasing on, features this engine, being quite old, does not like that being turned on, and it really brings the frame rate down. Basically, you're running around 50 frames. Okay, you say it's acceptable 50 odd, but I'd probably turn those extensions off. What you turned on, just to get the frame rate higher. To me, it didn't really seem to make a lot of difference anyway on the picture quality. So yeah, I'll just turn them off. Division 2, great game when it works. Yeah, I say that because with all the updates they've done, they've made it crash. If you look on the Steam survey, it's now available on Steam, and I think every person says don't bother because it crashes. Yeah, you never used to do that. You might get lucky, you might find it works fine. I mean, it's a great game, but it's a pain in the backside when it's constantly crashing. So again, we're going to be doing custom, because when you turn VSync off, it goes to custom mode instead of ultra. So, but otherwise, everything else is high settings with VSync off, 1440p and 4K. Okay, let's get on. Well, it looks like the latest driver is the fastest of the batch. We do run everything about 3 times over, get an average. And yes, the last driver did come out the fastest on all 3 runs. Switch over to 4K. Again, not seeing any glitches anywhere in the game. Except, like I said, it crashes quite regular. I mean, you might be able to play for an hour or 2 hours, you'll be fine. And another time, you play for 5 minutes, then it crashes. It's a pain, but it's, don't know. And DirectX 12, where it just crashes all the time. It's never ever not crash on DirectX 12. And the 4K, they all come out the same. So we lost around, what, 50 to 60 frames a second, going from 1440p to 4K. Horizon Zero Dawn. Not played this for a while. Got back into it. We'll be playing 4K, 1440p with and without FSR on ultra quality. So at 1440p afterburner, we're going to be using, it's very close to the built-in benchmark. And yeah, for some odd reason, the first driver is well off the pace by a massive amount. What are we talking about, 60 frames? I did check it several times and that's how it's come out. And it ends up being around 110, 111 versus 175, 178. So yeah, it's well off the pace, the first driver. So you want to keep away from it if you can. We'll switch over to 4K. This time it's not that far off the pace. It's about 10, 15 frames in it. As it goes round. So yeah, so we're still doing 100 frames at 4K. I'm not done FSR. Again, I've said, as I said earlier, if you're doing like 100 frames, you don't really need FSR on. Unless you want to be picky and really go. But yeah, FSR does give you a massive boost by the way of a good 30 frames. So we end up at 4K, 105, 116, 118 frames using Afterburner. So I'll definitely change to the latest driver if you can. With FSR on, you get up to 145, 150 frames at 4K. Red Dead Redemption 2. We're going to be doing 4K 1440p with FSR on only. Otherwise you don't get over 100 frames a second. So we're going to be doing FSR runs only. Everything will be on ultra and FSR will be on quality. Frame rates extremely close to each other. What, 50, 155 frame rate. So yeah, it ain't no go slow at the same with FSR on. With FSR off, yeah, it is doing about 90 frames, 80, 90 frames. So yeah, it's a nice boost on the FSR. Okay, I don't think there's anything in it, but if you stop the video just as I go into the bridge, the latest driver is about 10 frames ahead of the other two. Switch over to 4K, I'll let you know with FSR off this does about 55 frames. So yeah, it's a massive boost with FSR turned on for this card, absolutely humongous. I'm not seeing no glitches in it. even at 1440p or anywhere really. The only glitch we had is when we used the Intel graphic card with FSR turned on. You get that fuzziness, as I showed you in the other videos. Otherwise, I've not seen any bugs on anything else as it is. Okay, I don't think there's nothing in it. If you stop the video, there's 2 frame distance for the 3 drivers, and that's in favour of 22.12.2. Total War Warhammer 3, great game. If you like strategy style games, game going to be 1440p, 4K, ultra presets all the way out. Game doesn't support FSR or any upscaling at all. I think there's nothing in it. Just before it ends, we get around 135 on all the benches, so I don't think there's nothing in the drivers. We switch up to 4K, and straight away we get 50% of the frame rate, and straight down to the 70s. Again, very close on all the drivers. Again, I don't think there's nothing there. No optimizations, improvements on anywhere. As you take the benchmark, when the snow bear's getting storms banged on him, and it's average between 73 and 75 frames at that point. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. AMD fixed the problem they had with RT running on the Witcher in the latest driver, no longer crashes. So we got RT on 1440p and 4K with FSR turned on, quality mode. Basically the game on RT runs poorly with our FSR on. So I've got 1440p and 4K running side by side. Let's see, we got 60 odd frames on 1440p, and we're down into the doldrums on 4K in the 40s. Now you think, oh, so this is with FSR on, don't forget. And if you turn FSR off, 4K, well, it ain't playable. It's down in the 20s, and 1440p is down in the 30s. So it is really, really bad. Yeah, basically, I'm not being horrible. The graphics weren't bad on the previous version of the build. I think adding ray tracing to an old engine, they made a real bad mistake, if you ask me. And this is not an AMD thing. My 3080 does not fare any better at all with RT on. I have to say, sometimes I look at it and I think it still don't look like it's changed much. I still don't think the ray tracing functions are working correctly. I think some of them are off, especially when you look at the water. I've got there's a shimmering on the water, so I don't think ray tracing works properly. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully the improvements will keep coming for the graphic cards and for the 6000 and 5000 and 4000 series graphic cards from the past, because AMD have not released any drivers for a while. So yeah, yeah, the latest driver did fix quite a few things. The Witcher, so I can't complain with that. And again, I didn't have any problems with power requirements. I was getting 14 watts on the board and 50 watts running a 4K video. Now I'm not sure what player they were using. Can't figure out. But I was running media player, and 4K was fine, 55 watts. And I did try the other players on Windows. Again, running 55 watts. So I'm not quite sure where that problem comes from. Now I don't have multiple displays, so I can't test those things, or for the extending displays, can't fix those things. See if they work or don't work. But otherwise, the majority of things seems to be working fine, no problem at all. And just in case you don't know, most of the recording was done on 7900 XTX graphic card as well. So recording wise, seems to work fine. So yeah, again, hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. That is all, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be on Hogwarts Legacy, which at this moment in time runs awful. Okay, that is all.